The Phantom of the Opera is kind of like a nice guy's wet dream. You know, the nice guys from like Reddit threads and Tumblr, the ones that say you have a nice shirt and say you probably have a nice pair of tits, let me look at them. You know, the ones from those r/ people. You know, those videos that aren't creative. The Phantom of the Opera is kind of a nice guy's wet dream. Why? Well, here we have the Phantom, an outcast of society, one who is talented, intelligent, somewhat of a tortured artist, one who wants the affection of a woman, one whose talent matches that of his own, and if combined, they can create wonderful music. Not only that, he loves her, but once he starts to interact with her, things start to take a nefarious turn. Why? Because he is self-loathing and kind of manipulative, including the fact that he's willing to cap somebody and have absolutely no second thoughts about it. Which creeps the fuck out Christine Dai, the object of his affection, who ultimately ends up marrying Raul, who's, I guess, the Chad in this story. I'm sure a couple of those nice guys could identify with the Phantom. Why? Because the mentality I feel that these nice guys have is that they're sort of a rare find, or at least they stand out to what majority of society is pumping out these days. What do I mean by the majority? I'm talking about the motherfucking Jake Pauls, KSIs, those people who are just obnoxious and are perfect jawline, all this garbage, and TikTok with all those pedophiles and their amazing bodies and blue eyes. You know, they feel like they stand out due to the fact that they don't give a shit that much about their physical appearance, and they care more about their attitude, that they're nice to people, and that they want to build a loving relationship through emotions and trust other than material affection, which in theory sounds pretty good, but in practice, like communism, it gets a little low down and dirty. Why? Because usually most interactions turn out like this. Hi, wow, you have a beautiful pictures. I really like your hair. And the girl's like, oh wow, thank you. I really appreciate it. Someone enjoys my fucking hair, I guess. Oh, well, now, would you mind coming with me to a sweet steak dinner, where after we eat we shall go karaokeing, and then once you are tired I will walk you home, lay you on your bed, and then give you a soft peck on the forehead as I descend down the stairway, leaving you to slumber in peace. I'm not really sure I'm supposed to react to that. No, really, I wasn't prepared for this. No, I'm sorry, but I'm not really looking for a relationship right now. You whore! That's how most of those interactions go down. And as most of them go, they start pestering the lady, and in the end it just burns down the bridge, that to say the least. The Phantom kind of follows that. He helps Christine with trying to get her operatic career kick off by manipulating the opera house to give her lead roles, which, I mean, again, Christine is very talented. But, you know, kind of how corporate works, it doesn't matter how good you are, it's how long you can consistently be good, at least in my opinion. So, she's gonna have to climb up the corporate ladder to become the lead role. But the Phantom starts doing his whole puppet show and starts to manipulate to where she gets the lead role in Don Juan Triumphant, an opera he wrote. Which, if any of you know how that ends up, well... So, these nice guys have similar thought processes as the Phantom. They believe they are out of the norm, and by trying to get the affection of their woman, it ultimately comes as their downfall. They somewhat obsess over that object of affection, and it causes problems. The Phantom has a facial disfigurement, which then causes people to mistreat him as a young child, which then affects his grown-up life, causing him to be self-loathing and often catering and, I guess, harnessing the darkness that he feels he has to dwell within. And though the Phantom never explicitly said that he wanted to sleep with Christine, Just look at the lyrics of the music of the night. I mean, it says, "Help me make the music of the night." He didn't specifically say he wanted to sleep with her, but it is kind of flying over that territory. Me personally, I don't consider myself a nice guy, but just as a person, I can see that, I can relate to that, I can feel it. You dig it? And I can see why a nice guy would feel that. Again, with how society is right now, and the way they act, they feel like they have to dwell within a darkness that no one will understand, and the only person who can understand is that one person they love. Ma. I mean, why do you think cosplayers have so many followers and likes? It's because of her new people. I'm not gonna get started. So the Phantom is a bit of a nice guy. He sees this woman he likes. He first starts to court her by singing to her and showing his amazing talent and skill at music and the arts. She kind of sort of throws him a curveball and says, no, I'm not into that. He starts getting hyper obsessive and writes an entire opera because of it, which, I mean, hey, I've had some pretty low points with women in my life, and I end up writing entire biblical scriptures, but Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Which then ultimately brings a downfall where she has to bring in her boyfriend into the argument and it gets weird. I mean, look at the Phantom just aesthetically. He's tall, kind of toned, has a handsome, mysterious, dark look to him, especially with the mask that covers a darkness one could never witness. Sleek black hair, and wields a sword, kind of like a motherfucking katana. We got Ichigo in the building. Even though he doesn't wield a katana, he just wields a big-ass Final Fantasy VII-esque sword. He's the dream in a sense, you know, wanting to be handsome and misunderstood. So in the end, in essence, the Phantom of the Opera theatrical plays out like a chat on Instagram between a cosplayer and a horny 21-year-old. And if you just look at the Phantom of the Opera and the ending, it seems that the nice guy loses in the end due to his manipulative nature. But if you take into consideration the sequel, Love Never Dies, technically the Phantom kind of comes out a bit on top in comparison to Christine and Raoul. Why? Because Christine, yes, does become a professional and famous opera singer, but Raoul is an alcoholic gambling addict who's also a neglectful father and husband, while the Phantom is kinda sorta living it up in Coney Island with his own event called Phantasma. He's supposedly raking in a lot of money, to where he calls Christine to perform for him, and it causes the whole snowball effect of the first theatrical. So in a sense, the Phantom wins in the end, which isn't that what the nice guy wants? You know, nice guys finish last. Nah, brah. Look at the Phantom. Look at him. Look at that sexy motherfucker. Anyway, I don't know why I made this, and this was just a thought I had at like 2 in the morning. Anyway, see ya. Con el corazón te digo, olvidemos el pasado y lo que